I think what's going on is awesome. The timing couldn't be better. 5 weeks going into the municipal election where we're going to talk about political greed and avarice and gluttony represented by this lobster. How dare Heather Deal put on Twitter bragging about leftover food and booze that the taxpayers are paying when I'm struggling to feed my son, 5-year-old son, living in the downtown east side, and I'm struggling to feed him macaroni dinner. An overfed politician is going to go on my money when transit could be free. That would save the environment. That's the only way to get people out of their cars, and that's why I'm running as mayor of Vancouver as an independent in November's election. I'm tired of Gregor Robertson saying he's the greenest mayor driving around with an $8,000 car allowance. I'm going to take $8,000 and buy bicycles for the children in the downtown east side and get them to be lifelong bicycle enthusiasts, and maybe they won't even have a car. How about that, Charlie?
So how many tent cities have you participated in your life?
It all started with Larry Campbell getting the Olympics. I think it was in a peace camp a little before that, so about 4 or 5. Yeah.
And how does this one compare to the other ones you've participated in?
This one's upper quality. This is more students, more engaged activist type peoples, not the crackhead kind of homeless type people. Those people are now staying in shelters, which Gregor brought in. Yes, the street homelessness may have gone down, but the real homelessness, I remember the first day when I went up into Woodward's building, we climbed up the ladders into Woodward's, and one of the protesters said, "We're homeless, we want homes, we don't want a shelter."
And did you sleep here last night?
Yes, I did, Charlie.
And where's your tent?
My tent is there.
Why don't you take me to the tent?
Let's go to the tent. It's the tent of the Sax Maniac. I'm going to be the only homeless candidate in this election. With the issues of homelessness, I'm not jetting around to go to homelessness conventions eating lobster. I am homeless out on the street. Okay? You know, I'm a person living with a disability on 10 grand a year, Charlie, in the 21st century, raising a family with a 5-year-old son. I showed you my little picture of my son, blah, blah, blah. Here's my new home. Hasn't got much.
You want to go in and so we can see how you fit in there?
This is me, the Sax Maniac. I got room for a few friends. I've had 4 or 5 people in this tent before.
And do you have your saxophone?
Yes, it's right here.
And you had a bit of an outburst at a Vancouver Park Board meeting a while ago.
Yeah.
What would you say to anyone who watched that outburst on video and says, I don't know if I want to vote for this guy for mayor?
Well, you know what? A woman said to me, "Oh, I don't think I'll vote for you because you're not credible." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm like credible, like Gregor is going to invite people down and have a big riot." I'll tell you this, that was a day when I probably hadn't taken my medication. I'm working with my psychiatrist, I'm working on the medication. I'm not like Sarah Blythe and going to use my mental health situation after I've been elected and say, "Oh, wow, look at me, I'm running again because I have a mental health disorder." Well, I'll tell people, yes, I have it, it's being treated, and that day probably wasn't one of my better days, but in general I'm doing very well. And tell you what I don't do is invite a bunch of people downtown with a big Dumbotron. If some team makes the playoffs, I'm going to have little TVs scattered in all the little parks so people in the neighborhood can enjoy a little family together watching the game and high-five each other when they score and commiserate if they lose, like that.
Do you want to talk about your health, Darrell?
Sure, I'm totally open to talking about it.
So
sure,
what's your health? Have you been diagnosed with anything?
I have been diagnosed with a bipolar condition.
And are you taking medication to keep it under control?
I am, yeah.
Okay. And what about your family? Can you talk about your son?
Oh, my son's amazing. His name is Thor. He's 5 years old. He is just starting kindergarten at Strathcona Elementary School. And after schools, we drop in the downtown Eastside neighborhood house called the Family Drop-In. That was closed yesterday, Charlie, on Friday. It was the last day. Do you know why? Because gaming grant funding didn't come through for it. Gaming grants, which are $1 billion a year to the provincial treasury. So I'm talking to Wicked Witch of the West, Shirley Bond. She hasn't gotten back to me, either has Christy Clark, about why my son's family drop-in. In the new Families First agenda where my son lives, we're stepping over passed out junkies in the street to get into this little oasis in the neighborhood at 573 East Hastings. Family drop-in closed on Friday.
And what's the main message you want to get across to voters in this election?
The main message is enough is enough. Free transit will save the planet. Is good for the economy because everyone has more money, blah, blah, blah. They've done it in a place in Belgium. It's called Hasselt, Belgium. For 15 years, they've had free transit. It's a model for the free transit. I want Vancouver to I want, as a Vancouverite, to be proud of my city, that we are known throughout the world as the innovative, cutting-edge city that brought in free transit and started a whole domino effect of other major cities looking at that as the paradigm, instead of free lobster dinners for overfed politicians, right? The different lobster paradigm last year. Okay, I'm asking Gregor Robertson, he threw himself an $80,000 bash for winning the election in a kilt and build the city somehow. So I'm thinking, even if I lose, I'm going to be sad and need to commiserate. Can I spend $80,000 on my bash and then bill that to the city and hire my band to come and play? See how that works. Plus, this is all just a big publicity stunt for my band Drunkle, and we're going to be coming out with a new album soon. But I think
I have one more question, though.
Yeah.
My next question, Darrell, is: have you got enough people who've signed your nomination papers, and will your name actually be on the ballot?
My name is, I was there the first day, right, with Suzanne Anton. 25 was a minimum number. They said get 40 in case some of them weren't verifiable, and I had 38 or so.
So you will be on the ballot?
Yes, I am. I put $100 deposit in cash. I have the receipt for that right here. Let's have a look at the receipt. This is me, freetransit.ca. Please check the website and get involved in the discussion group. My receipt was so very organized with all my paperwork here.
Actually, that's fine, Darrell. We'll take your word for it.
Because I want to get that $100 back, Charlie.